Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Mr. President. It is, dear colleagues, a great honor for me to be here today and address you. And apart from a great honor, you'll allow me to say it's also a very great personal pleasure. And this is the first such bilateral visit of a Greek foreign minister in many years, long overdue, I said it before, because it is not self-evident, but our two countries have very many things in common. We are, of course, partners and allies and united by strong bonds on the European Union and on NATO. But today I want to highlight another crucial commonality that has led to our increasingly converging views on the international order and the security architecture of Europe, of our regions, of the world. I'm speaking of the fact that Greece and Lithuania are both countries situated on the external borders of the European Union and also the external borders of NATO. This is a reality that we have to deal on a daily basis, and a reality that comes with many severe and sometimes quite urgent challenges. Challenges not only for our countries, challenges for the European Union as a whole. Both our direct neighbors have a long track record of not playing exactly by the same rules, adhering to the same principles that we, as European Union members, consider universal but also fundamental. In this regard, Greece fully understands and instinctively is sensitive to the challenges that you are facing from your difficult neighbors to the east. As you know, Greece has traditional relations with Russia dating back to Russia's important role in supporting the Greek fight for independence 200 years ago. These are relations that we are not ignoring and we are not underestimating. But also, we don't underestimate the challenges we face today. We do understand them. And we believe that these are challenges for the European Union as a whole, and they require a unified and coherent European Union strategy and a European response. Of course, the future of Russia's relation with the European Union and its member state depends first and foremost on Russia, on the Russian behavior. There is no doubt that full compliance with international law and its international commitments remains a key prerequisite for any substantial progress in our dialogue and our cooperation. This was actually one of the main messages I relayed to Foreign Minister Lavrov during our recent meeting in Sochi. In a similar way, our own difficult neighbor, Turkey, to the east, poses serious challenges not only to Greece, but to the European Union as a whole. And as I had expressed to my dear friend Minister Landsbergis many times before and today, and wish to express to you as well, Greece is very grateful for your support over the years and for your solidarity over the years on this issue. I'm referring in particular to Turkey's widespread aggressive and illegal contact in the Mediterranean, in the Aegean, but also, more than that, on the instrumentalization of the migration issue, and I'm so sorry to find out that you are facing a similar challenge here today, but also on Cyprus and other countries as Libya, Syria, on supporting extremist groups as Hamas, on also supporting forces in Lebanon and Iraq that do not share the same way with us of seeing things. Dear friends, this is an overall region that not only big powers, but slowly also regional powers try to compete and create influence for them. Interventions, violation of sovereignty of states under the pretext of safeguarding interest has become, unfortunately, a commonplace. Even, as we said before, refugees and migrants are being instrumentalized in the service of obscure state interests and political and economic gains, where cultural, religious, sectarian, dogmatic affiliations are exploited to fuel extremism, topple regimes, expand political influence. We share also a region that has a significant trade and energy transfer route. And, if I may say so, look back a few weeks ago on the consequences associated with the blockage of the Suez Canal by one single ship. Our overall region hosts also a potential not just of new energy resources for Europe, but also the ability to diversify our sources and diminish our reliance on the relevant Russian monopoly. We, Greece, a small, medium-sized country, remain a rules-based and principled country. We believe in a rule-based and principled policy. Our policy has been founded on the need for consistent, persistent, and full respect of international law by all countries, be they big, medium, small, without exceptions, without any footnotes. Having been confronted with repeated and continuous violations of our sovereignty and sovereign rights by a neighbor and ally, we strive to avoid always militarization. We support and promote peaceful resolution of differences through dialogue, mutual trust based on international law and good neighborly relations. We consistently point to the need for keeping channels of communication open, even in the most difficult of circumstances. We insist that violations of sovereignty, be it in Syria, in Libya, in Iraq, in Cyprus, in the Aegean, everywhere, violations of sovereign rights must be condemned and cease immediately. And we believe that threats to the security of each one is a threat to our collective security and must be dealt collectively. As such, we are sincere proponents of the idea that the European Union must prioritize our collective European interests over those that serve narrow and circumstantial objective of some individual member state. That decisions of the European Council must be respected first and foremost by our own members, if we sincerely wish for them to be respected by third actors. Actors we know they have a long track record of violations of international legal order. We are expected to stand idle while other countries pursue the installation or operational of Russian air defense system on their soils, for example, or while they maintain a permanent threat of war, casus belli, against a fellow NATO ally, destabilizing the alliance southeastern flank. I take it that the answer to these questions are clear, even though some might prefer to portray the solutions are very complex. Dear colleagues, dear friends, our strategic relations with the United States are and will always be crucial. As such, we must ensure that our American friends maintain their focus in Europe and our wider neighborhood. In this regard, the new administration's recent re-engagement in this region is a promising and a very welcome development. At the same time, we should continue to foster cooperation, always with due regard to our common principles and interests. But also, we have to engage with new players. May I mention India as an example, or even Australia, further to the south. Players whose growing impact on world and regional affairs cannot be overlooked and should not be underestimated. Greece, together with Cyprus, we have developed close ties also with important partners in the overall region, such as Egypt, such as Israel, such as important Gulf countries, as the UAE, Saudi Arabia, but also Bahrain. While advancing our bilateral relations to new heights, we have also pioneered multilateral formats of cooperation dealing on a wide variety of fields: trade, investments, environment, innovative technologies, defense. These initiatives have always had one common denominator: the respect of international law and good neighborly relations. As such, these relations are flexible and open to any and to all that strictly and consistently abide by these basic principles. In this way, they have united the voices and fortified the efforts of all those who are committed to safeguarding peace, stability and development in Europe and the overall region. This is our response, the Greek response, to the many challenges in the Eastern Mediterranean and the wider neighborhood. Rules-based cooperation for the sake of peace, peace for the sake of prosperity of our people. And I know well that we share this principal approach and these goals here in Lithuania. Thus, allow me to conclude that we should never hesitate to coordinate our efforts towards promoting our values together. Thank you so much for this honor and this great opportunity.